Riddle me this. If Adobe VR nerd turned controversial arms dealer were to make a game console, what game console would he make? Wonder no more, for I have the answer inside this basic JanSport backpack. It is the ModRetro Chromatic from Palmer Luckey, perhaps best known for his role in the creation of the Oculus Rift. Its features include enjoying a family of newly created games on chromatic cartridges, as well as remastered versions of your favorite classics. It is compatible with original Game Boy and Game Boy Color cartridges, and it has a bright enough screen that you can use it, yes, my friends, outside. But before we get to this, I wanna have a look at this Lisa Frank-esque tiger folio? Oh wow, that's their reviewer's guide. Lisa Frank, that's that brand that made the super bright colored stationery back in the 90s? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, hi there. We hope this feels like Christmas morning when you were a kid. How old is Palmer Luckey? Is he even old enough to have had a Game Boy as a kid? The history of gaming. Grade level 6 to 8th grade. This is a very cute reviewer's guide. They don't really expect me to do all this work though, do they? All right, is there anything else in here? Does it come with this backpack? Is that part of the whole like first edition thing? Okay, well, we're not sure. Let's have a look at this thing. It's bundled with Chromatic Tetris, which is apparently a recreation of the original Tetris, and it comes with a sapphire glass display cover. I mean, that does feel markedly higher quality than the scuffable plastic that was on the original Game Boy. Wow, the chassis. Ooh, it is amazing how the material choice affects the feel of a device, okay? So you go from cheap devices, which use plastic and are kind of down here, to like, premium devices, which use stainless steel or aluminum and feel like this, to more exotic metals that feel more like plastic. It uses a magnesium alloy chassis that makes it, I wouldn't say light, because anytime you've got 3 AA batteries in something, it's not gonna be especially light, but it feels light-ish, and it's not cold to the touch. You've got a USB-C port at the bottom as well as a headphone jack. This USB-C port apparently supports video out. And speaking of video, one of the most special things about the device is that the resolution of the display matches the original Game Boy, meaning that you're not going to get any approximations of the original pixel art. It should be absolutely perfect. We've got support for the link cable, which is possible because they're using an FPGA recreation of the original processor. We've got a couple of wrist strap loops here, depending on whether you prefer to apply it on the left or the right-hand side. We've got a volume button. There's a menu button on the side right here. Your traditional A, B, select, start, and D-pad. Oh, D-pad feels pretty good. Up at the top, we got our power switch as well as an IR transceiver. So it's kind of a mashup of original Game Boy features and Game Boy Color features. So if you want to trade your Pokemon, it'll, I guess, depend on what generation of game you're using. Oh, there is one thing I didn't mention under the battery cover. These are rechargeable batteries. Oh, they're not. It comes with alkaline battery. Really, at this price? It comes with alkaline batteries? It's funny, Palmer says that this was a passion project. He's losing money on this thing. But at 220 bucks, I don't know. Anyway, apparently if you replace these with nickel metal hydrides, they can charge inside the device using the USB-C port, which is actually kind of a nice feature. Oh, that's a really nice rubber battery retention thing. It does feel very premium. The issue is that it also costs premium. We've got some comparison devices we're gonna be looking at in a moment here. Anyway, inside we've got Chromatic Tetris, which looks an awful lot like a Tetris cart, made in Mexico, as well as a cute little Tetris complication. Isn't that what Apple calls them? Like cute little things? Yeah, charms, that's the word I'm looking for. Charming. Oh, look at that, there's a quick start guide there. Let's fire it up, and let's also meet the contenders. After this segue to our sponsor, Hohem. Their portable iSteady V3 gimbal makes filming on your phone a whole lot easier with nifty features like using AI to ensure you have consistently centered shots and a fill light with 3 different color temperatures to keep things clear even in low light. And of course, since it's a gimbal, you can use it handheld with the extension rod, or you can set it up in tripod mode and control it with a detachable remote. Plus, the Hohem Joy app offers tailored recommendations for camera movement and techniques based on popular scenes. So check it out at the link in the video description. All right, what do we got here? We got the original Game Boy. Boy, does it ever look bulky compared to, well, everything else. We've got a Game Boy Pocket, okay? Oh, It's a little bigger than the Pocket. We've also got the Analog Pocket. I can't tell you who's gonna win, but it's gonna be the Pocket. And then we've got, oh, what was this thing called again? Funny Playing Game Boy. This was that one that we built here on ShortCircuit with the little kit. All right, what do we start with? I mean, I guess we gotta start with their included Tetris game. Let's give it a shot. All right. Apparently they worked with COS on color matched headphones, but I don't have those, so we're gonna use the built-in speaker. Well, the speaker's a lot better than the original Game Boy, I'll tell you that much already, without even listening to them side by side. I don't even know what the different modes mean, to be honest with you. I was never into Tetris, which is about to become super apparent. Yeah, so up does that. Yeah, I don't even really know the controls, so there's that. How do I, oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, sure. Oh yeah, sorry, button feel. Yeah, button feel. Button feel seems good. Oh, that was not a good move. Please don't judge me too harshly. I need, yes, I need the stick. Hey, there we go. I'm sorry, am I supposed to be making a video? 0 complaints, nice and tactile. Say what you will about Palmer Luckey. If he built the device for himself, he cared about it. Oops, I might have created another dependency. But I got it right away. I can't wait for the comment section on this video. Just be like, is Linus even a gamer? The answer is no. Oh my God, they come so fast. I need the stick. Yes, I got the stick. It's too hard. That's the best I could do. Great button feel. The sound, even though I had it turned down, is awesome compared to the original Game Boy. Dude, very, very playable. Let's try their weird recreation cartridge in another console. Okay, what are the odds this works? Because clearly if it's an FPGA device, it should be basically functionally a Game Boy, but it also clearly isn't functionally a Game Boy. It's got the menu button, it's got that IR thing and stuff, so. Remember when I said the speaker was better on the ModRetro? You can kind of make it out. I don't remember the Game Boy being this bad. I think our Game Boy has seen better days. Which is honestly part of the reason that devices like this are so popular, because even if you wanted the original experience, it's degraded so much in some cases that that original experience might not really exist. It's shocking to me how much better the speakers can sound firing down into your palm as opposed to toward your face, but really can, really, really can. Okay, so that's the Game Boy. That's clearly not winning our challenge today. Why don't we try this guy? All right, Funny Playing, you're up. All other things being equal, I would absolutely take the Chromatic, but all other things are not equal. And the Chromatic is over double the price. If I just wanted to tool around and play Game Boy games, because I think that's something that we have to kind of be honest with ourselves. Are we gonna sit down and like play this game like the way we used to when we were kids, where we're gonna play it for hours every week? No, probably not. Some people, yes, obviously, there's people that are still very, very into Tetris. But most people, this is a novelty purchase, you know what I mean? The screen is another drawback to this device. It's definitely not as bright, it's not as vibrant. However, once again, is it vibranter and brighter enough that I'd be willing to pay double for the Chromatic? That's tough. Oh my God. Yep, block out. Okay, you know what? I wanna see the Chromatic at max brightness real quick here. Dude, one of the design goals was apparently to make it playable outside, which is something that the original Game Boy really struggled with. Man, I'm usually kind of a just emulate it guy, but I gotta say, the resolution matched display really does make the old pixel art look better. I was not expecting to notice that big of a difference. Again, whether we're talking brightness or button feel or whatever, double the price, that's a tall order, but it is better. Let's go for something a little more different. It looks like it's like artificially smoothed or something, you know? Yeah, it really does not look as good. Now, I could fix a lot of what looks kind of nasty about this with filters, but it's not the same. It's never gonna be quite the same. Let's try some filters on this display. It's high enough resolution that theoretically that should more closely approximate the original console. The buttons also still aren't as good. That's something that the ModRetro team absolutely nailed. The buttons, they are really, really good. With that said, am I actually having any less fun right now? No. Yeah, so far, man, there's no real question for me. At this price, I would just get an analog pocket because then I can play more than just Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. Did I mention that? This thing only plays Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. And then, you know, some re-releases. They say there's some new releases coming, games that were like canceled toward the end of the life of the original Game Boy. Okay, how about the original pocket? Man, that sound. It is cool that these work in the original consoles, which I guess is pretty cool for someone who wants to buy the re-releases and then actually play them in a Game Boy. Man, it really doesn't help that it's a little chilly in the studio. You can see when I move it down, it's like, the poor LCD is like, Let's try a different game. What do we want to play? What should I play? All right, Super Mario Land, let's go. That's, it's not a very good interface. It says 3-to-1 as the opposite of whatever it is that you can't tell if you're 3-to-1ing anything. Wow, you can see it actually like slows down a little bit sometimes, just like the original hardware would. Authentic lag. Whatever, I got this. Easy. And I'm dead. Time for a Game Boy Color game. Oh man, this little nubbin on the back, I understand why they had to do it because this is made of metal, so you can't just have a little like flexible tab, but that sits like right where I want my finger or my pinky. I mean, I could work around it, but it's not my favorite. Looks real good. I'm not really sure what else there is to say about it at this point. If what you want is a machine that does absolutely nothing but play Game Boy games and Game Boy Color games with much greater fidelity than the original Game Boy or Game Boy Color, then that's pretty cool. You can get one of these. It's as true to the original consoles while also being better than the original consoles as you can get, thanks to that display. However, if you're willing to compromise on a few things and you like getting benefits for that, the Analog Pocket really is a way more compelling option. I mean, it's got a bigger screen. It's also very bright, even if it's not quite as bright. It's got compatibility for way more game systems, including original cartridge compatibility, which is one of the things that's nice about the ModRetro. And if you want to spend half as much, this is a very compelling option too from Funny Playing. Like, I'd play on this. Does it really matter? Not to me. To you it might. Subscribe to ShortCircuit.